Hey guys, it's me, Eugenie again. Today I'm going to teach you investment equals to savings. If you have any questions, just text me, okay? On Instagram, text our macro group chat. If you want a private class with your friends, tell me. It'll be fine too. I can do this. Okay, so let's start. When we think about the economy, one simple rule that keeps everything in balance is that what is saved must equal what is invested, right? So this sounds really abstract, but let's break it down into very, very simple. So households, let me give you an example of what is saving. Households, they earn income, okay? So they earn around 2,000 euros per month. Earn 2,000 euros per month. Now, some of that 2,000 of that income goes to taxes, maybe 400. Some goes to spending, okay, what you buy. I want to buy coat, clothes, food, rent, or so, for example, 1,300. And so what do you have left after 2,000 minus 400 minus 1,300 is 300. So you say that it's savings, right? So saving is just S equals to income, Y, minus taxes, okay? So you remove the taxes because you have to pay the taxes anyways, minus consumption, so what you spend, right? Minus the 1,300. And what you have is saving. So saving here is 300 euros. Now, firms, they take those savings and they use them to invest in new things. So for example, building a new factory, buying machines, or hiring more workers. And so what we call that is investment, right? So if households, they put 300 euros in the bank account, okay, so as we mentioned earlier, that their savings, okay, 300 euros in the bank account, and the government balances its budget, then firms, they can borrow and invest these 300. Now, I think there's a word you might have not understood, which is balances its budget. What is balanced budget? Well, it means that the government gets money from taxes, okay? And then the government also spends money on schools, hospitals, roads. And so a balanced budget means taxes equals to government spending. So the government spends exactly as much as it collects in taxes. So that's why we say that investment equals to savings. So if households, they put 300 in the bank and the government balances budgets, then firms, they can borrow and invest 300, as we said. But governments, they also play a role. So if the government collects more in taxes than it spends, then it's saving money, right? It has more money coming in than money coming out. So it's a budget surplus. And if it spends more than it collects, so more money coming out and less money coming in, then it's a budget deficit, okay? So the full rule is investment equals to savings plus T minus G, taxes minus government spending. So investment equals to savings. When we talk about savings, we talk about private savings plus government saving, okay? So, yes. Now, let me give you an example. Households, they save 300 euros, okay? Now, governments, they're going to collect 120 euros, but they're going to spend 100 euros out of this 120, right? So they have a surplus of 20 euros, right? So the total availability for investment is 300 plus 20 euros, okay? So it'll be 320 euros. Now, you have two ways of describing balance in the goods market. You have production equals to demand, which is when we looked at it before earlier. So it's when firms, they produce exactly what people, businesses, and the government wants to buy. And then there's investment equals to savings. So it's the money households and the government save is exactly equal to what the firms invest.